doing everything he can, and this entire administration is doing everything we can to bring down the...
A liberal TV host, not just poking at a political opponent, but going after something deeply personal. He looked directly at Karoline Leavitt, the young, fierce advocate for faith and freedom, and made a claim that would be remembered as a defining clash in this ongoing culture war. "Take it off," he sneered. His words, as venomous as they were, had only one target: Karoline's necklace.
I commit to telling the truth from this podium every single day. I commit to speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. That is my job.
But this wasn't just about a piece of jewelry. This was about power. This was about trying to strip someone of their core beliefs, a challenge to her faith, to her identity. What followed was a battle of wits, one that would leave the liberal host and everyone else in that room reeling. But Karoline didn't flinch. She didn't back down. Instead, what she did next turned the entire situation on its head, shifting the focus from the attack on her faith to a powerful message of unity and respect for one another.
First of all, Signal has been an approved app for government use. It's an encrypted app, and as I said, it's the most safe and efficient way of communicating, especially...
It all went down after Karoline Leavitt wrapped up her press conference. She had just laid out some tough truths about freedom of speech, unity, and the right to express oneself without fear of being attacked for holding a different view. But not everyone was having it. While some stood by her, others saw an opportunity to belittle her. The liberal host, with a reputation for biting commentary, had his sights set on her, specifically on her necklace, a simple yet powerful symbol of her faith. His eyes locked onto the gleaming cross that hung from her neck. To him, it wasn't just jewelry. It was an invitation for him to try and tear her down. "Take it off," he repeated, this time louder, more insistent. The room seemed to hold its breath. He wasn't asking, he was ordering. He wasn't speaking from a place of curiosity. He was hoping to undermine her, to publicly humiliate her. His aim was clear: expose her for what he saw as hypocrisy, to paint her as someone whose beliefs didn't belong in the public arena. But Karoline Leavitt wasn't about to let him control the narrative. What happened next wasn't just a reaction. It was a masterclass in grace under pressure. With calm and poise, Karoline responded, "You want me to take it off? My faith?" Her words cut through the hostility in the room like a sharp blade, leaving the liberal host momentarily speechless. Before we dive into how Karoline shut it all down, let's take a closer look at who she is and why her response was so impactful. Karoline Leavitt is not your average political figure. She didn't grow up in the halls of political power or inherit any form of privilege. Raised in a modest family, she learned early on that faith wasn't just something you talk about on Sundays. It's something you live by every single day. Her parents instilled in her the belief that faith is more than just words. It's about living with conviction, even when it's difficult, even when it puts you at odds with the world around you. Her mother's words have stuck with her. Faith is not about shouting louder than others. It's about living with conviction, even when no one else does. And that's exactly what Karoline did at that moment. Instead of succumbing to the pressure to explain or justify her faith, she stood firm. The host's words were an attempt to belittle her, to strip away what made her who she was. But Karoline's calm demeanor and powerful response completely flipped the script. She wasn't defensive, nor was she angry. She simply asked, "Why does it offend you so much? Are you really angry about a piece of jewelry? Or about what it stands for?" The room went still. Her question wasn't just a challenge, it was an invitation for reflection. The liberal host, who had started this exchange looking to shame her, now had to confront his own biases. With grace and conviction, Karoline continued, holding her necklace gently between her fingers. This necklace is not just an accessory, it is a reminder of the strength I've received in my darkest hours. It's a reminder of the values I strive to live by: love, kindness, and the unwavering belief that every single person around me has inherent worth, regardless of whether they share my faith or not. It wasn't just a defense of her faith, it was a defense of the principle that everyone, regardless of their beliefs, deserves to be respected. It wasn't a call for others to believe what she believed, but rather a call for unity despite differences. As she spoke, the atmosphere shifted. The liberal host, who had been ready to escalate the situation, now found himself stepping back. His attempt to force her into a corner had backfired spectacularly. "I don't wear this necklace to make others believe what I believe," she continued, her voice steady and full of strength. "God gives everyone the gift of free will, and that includes the choice to follow him or not. I respect that deeply." She was not demanding conformity. She was inviting respect. Her message wasn't just for the host. It was for everyone in that room and for everyone watching. Karoline Leavitt was not only defending her faith, she was reminding everyone that true unity comes not from making everyone the same, but from respecting the differences that make us who we are. As she spoke, her words began to sink in, not just for the host, but for the entire room. And then, she delivered the knockout punch. "If my faith offends you, maybe it's not my necklace that's the issue. Maybe it's something only you can reconcile." The room was silent. The TV host, who had thought he'd caught her in a moment of weakness, found himself scrambling for a response. But no words came. He was caught in the truth of her statement, too stunned to retaliate. For those in the room, it was a moment of unexpected reflection. The liberal host had been ready to belittle her, to accuse her of hypocrisy. But instead, Karoline had turned the tables. She had exposed his bias, not through anger or confrontation, but through the quiet power of truth. This wasn't just a victory for Karoline. It was a victory for anyone who's ever been silenced or belittled for standing up for their beliefs. Her words didn't just shut down an attack. They elevated the conversation. Unity isn't about making everyone the same. It's about respecting the differences that make us who we are, she said, driving home the message that true unity is found in respect, not in conformity. The room erupted into applause. Even those who may have disagreed with her views couldn't deny the power and strength of her words. The liberal host, who had entered the room eager to discredit her, left it with his tail between his legs. So, what does this moment mean? It's more than just a clash between two people with differing views. It's a moment that highlights the power of standing firm in your beliefs, even when the world around you is trying to tear you down. Karoline Leavitt didn't just defend her faith. She showed the world that grace and strength go hand in hand. This was a lesson in the importance of respecting others' beliefs, even when we don't agree with them. Unity isn't about forcing everyone to think the same. It's about respecting the space where differences can coexist. And what about the liberal host? His attempt to humiliate Karoline Leavitt didn't just fail. It backfired. What he had hoped would be a moment of triumph became instead a moment of reflection for both him and the audience. It wasn't about winning the argument. It was about realizing that some things, like faith, can't be reduced to mere political points. What do you think? Was Karoline's response a defining moment in her career? Or was it just another example of someone standing their ground in the face of adversity? And what about the liberal host? Do you think he learned anything from this encounter, or will he keep pushing his agenda? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a moment of the latest drama. This is just the beginning of a conversation that's sure to keep on unfolding. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.